What is up, everyone? I hope that everyone is doing well. I will not be driving for long. I'm actually a little bit towards my destination. I just wanted to take a little ride here and to kind of put out some content, right? So I wanted to say thank you. I got getting followers from all over, Switzerland, UK, Philippines. So it's very, very flattering, very humbling. Thank you so much. I'm not going to say the number anymore because when I say it, by the time I put this out, right, I'm recording this now, but it won't be out for a little bit. But anyway, so I want to say thank you so much to the new subs and to those of you who are just kind of casually watching and all this kind of stuff. What are you waiting for? Hit that thumbs up, number one, and hit that sub button, number two, and let's make sure we're growing. And yeah, I do have great ambitions as far as trying to see if we can get to 10,000, but it's up to you, right? Getting the views. A lot of videos are getting the views, right? So yeah. So we'll see what we can do. But can we get to 10,000 by Christmas of 2024? Can we do it? Can we do it? Yeah. I got Bill Gates dreams, right? All right, so I'm almost to my destination, so all you people who are nervous about me driving, it won't be that long. I don't know what I'm exactly going to title this. Oh, they're building the fence over here. I don't know exactly what I'm going to title this, but we're going to talk about, the part two of the socially awkward male. So I was kind of going through my, so I go through past shows, and I kind of watch them, see if I need to correct anything, make some adjustments. My thought process has changed. Look at my demeanor. You really should check and see how you're doing about things, right? Check in on yourself sometimes and see if your philosophy has changed, see how you're doing. Are you doing in your progression? Do you still think the same way that you thought a year ago? Are you still performing and doing some things the same ways that you did? Are you showing any improvement? Are you showing any improvement? So someone asked me, about these socially awkward males, right? And this, and you that way and all this. Listen, I've been very, very upfront in this whole time that, yeah, a lot of this is about me. Well, and I know I'm not the only one going through it, right? I have conversations with people. I talk to people, right? You think that you're the only one. You're not the only one. You're not the only one. So people make mistakes in their life, and they wish there's things that they could have done better. They wish they had mentors and somebody who told them, and that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this type of content. So, the socially awkward male. Socially awkward male. We're going to continue this with part two, and if you watch the first part, please make sure that you go back if you haven't. So the first part, I ended up talking about Prince Charming, and I really wanted to kind of hone in on that a little bit more today, or in this video, talking about what it takes to be this Prince Charming. Remember, Prince Charming had the education, he had the royalty, the regalness, he had the which is the social status. He had all that, right? And then then he was also charming, the way he came off, the way he interacted with the men and women in his life, presumably, right? So you got to be, you got to be able to have this demeanor about you that is what's the word for it? That is accommodating to or pleasing to males and females, right? Men and women, business leaders, business owners. You want to rub elbows with top people, you got to be able to have this type of demeanor, characteristics, qualities. You got to have all that in order to be there. So, think about the Prince Charming type of thing, right? I'll try to end it off with this, about talking about Prince Charming again. So the first thing I wanted to talk about, right? And so when you look at the socially awkward male, socially awkward males, are a way. Again, I'm not going to rehash everything I talked about in the first video. Watch the first video. But socially awkward males are a way because they have not gotten the social training and don't understand the social cues. And I'm not simply talking about, it could be, people who are somewhere on the spectrum. And, but I'm not really talking about that. But, I'm not an expert on that. So I don't know, how people, somebody call me and text me when I'm doing this. So I'm not talking about those type of people. I'm certainly no expert in that. So if if those are some of your issues, then, seek the quality care and help and see if some of those things can be worked on and and just make sure that you are becoming the best version of yourself. That's the answer that I can give about that. But if you're not on the spectrum and you just kind of grew up and you were sheltered like I was, and just, you thought the way the world worked a certain way, then you go out into the world, and this is what happened to me. I went out into the world and I figured out I become a police officer. I'm like, what is going on? Right? I was raised in church. I had no clue what was going on. Right? Mother kept me fairly much sheltered. Right? So you start figuring out what's going on in the church, right? Everybody's sleeping. Well, not my church. Yeah, that was going on. So people sleeping with each other, right? And then I go into the world and I see, people just doing crazy, crazy stuff, right? So this idea, I did take some notes today. So this idea of social awkwardness, right? So the first thing I've talked about this before, and I'm going to say it again. You got to fix what you can. And I am not unaware that sometimes I would talk about stuff when I was teaching class, and sometimes I got to remind myself that everybody doesn't have these things, right? So I would be talking about, okay, we're all going to watch this movie on Netflix and this and that and the other. And matter of fact, it was an assignment that I took over a criminology class that I was teaching. Right, so I looked at the previous instructor's syllabus and stuff, and he had movies on there that he wanted people to watch. And there was no method to watch it, right? It was like, go home and watch Netflix and watch this, or watch, Hulu or whatever. Everybody don't have that. These are college students, right? So I'm very much aware that everybody's not in that place. So the first thing I would say is, when it comes to fixing yourself what you can, it's going to take money. In order to improve in this life, it's going to take money. And one of the things that I did when I turned 16 years old, I talked about how I grew up and I was very, very self-conscious about myself and all that. Right? I was one of the, I'm not gonna, well, I don't know if I want to tell all that, but I was a kid that didn't have many clothes. Let me just put it like that. Right? So first thing when I did when I turned 15, 16 is I went to work. I got me a job, and every week I got paid, and I went and bought an outfit, top and the bottom. And then I bought a couple of those, and then after a while you realize, okay, I can, if I buy a nice pair of jeans, I can have like 3 tops of this jeans and all this kind of stuff, right? So I remember I had a light blue, the blue denim, and black jeans, and then I maybe like brown and blue slacks. This is in high school and all that kind of stuff, right? But it took money. It took money. So the things I'm going to mention, right? You have to prioritize. This is about getting over your social awkwardness, and this is for the guys. So you have to prioritize getting over that, getting through that. So you have to prioritize yourself, right? Stop trying to date. Stop trying to take girls on dates. Stop trying to, floss for other people. Okay, you might want to save some money to buy a car, and make sure you can get transportation to work and all that kind of stuff, right? So you might also have to be in a position to give your parents money. Listen, I had to do that too. I think I volunteered to do it. So I got paid. I gave them a little bit of money. Whatever's whatever. Listen, we got to deal with what we got to deal with. So you got to fix what you can. So first thing you should really try to do is make sure that you are getting fresh haircuts, right? So I used to get, when I had hair, when I wasn't follically challenged, we used to, every 2 weeks I got a haircut, right? So whatever it is now, I don't know what the price is now. I don't know if people can afford that. But nevertheless, whether it's hair, you got to keep yourself well groomed. And here's what I'm going to advocate for. Take this information for what you want. I advocate for doing your own cutting on your own hair. Keep it low, keep it bald, right? You can watch YouTube videos. These barbers are giving YouTube videos instructions about how to use guards and all this kind of stuff. My boys and I, we used to practice on each other. I mean, well, not practice, you got to have a certain level of talent, right? Do you have a steady hand and, be somewhat artistic? You don't got to be a professional artist or anything, but you got to have a little bit. So you can, if you follow the instructors on YouTube who are giving away, different guards and stuff, right? The 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, whatever. And right, you get a nice set of clips. Again, this is all going to cost money, but you can get you don't got to get a top of the line $200-300 set of clippers, but you can get one from Walmart or whatever. I don't know what they cost, 20, 25 bucks, 30 bucks or something like that. Adjustables, right? Or just get the main one and couple clippers. I'm telling you how to make sure you present yourself. If you had the money, certainly go to a barbershop, right? I didn't do mine. Now I've been doing my beard once a week. So if I do a show, I try to do a show on Sunday, but anyway, Um, I just do it myself. I mean, I do it myself. I told a story about the nightmare I had with the barbers. I don't got time for all that kind of stuff. And the barbershop used to be a place where you could just go sit for hours and all this kind of stuff and just talk, and you don't mind hearing the conversations. If you enjoy that kind of thing, then do it. I'm too busy to do that, right? So I just shave my head. Sometimes I do it in the shower and all that kind of stuff. So it's whatever. So you got to take care of and this is going to help you get over your social awkwardness, because as I started to say, some people are very socially awkward because of how they feel internally. And I'm saying that if you fix the internal problems that you have going on, then you can fix the external problem, your external presentation, right? And I'll definitely try to finish off with that. So you're going to fix your external presentation. But so by you fixing the external, by how your hair, your beard looks, skincare regimen, all this kind of stuff, right? It will have an effect on how you view yourself, right? It will have an effect on how you view yourself. I am very much into body language. I am very much into how people present and walk. And I can remember this one guy. I was in finishing up my associate's degree. I'll never forget the way this guy walked through the halls. And he was overweight. He was a big, tall guy, right? So, and he's walking like this. I mean, literally, big, tall guy. And he's walking like this. He's overweight, and he's walking like this, holding the books up, right? He's trying to hide. He's trying to hide how big he was. So what he needed to do is stop hiding and just get in the gym and eat right. I mean, this sounds the way I'm definitely presenting what I'm saying sounds so matter of fact and sounds so harsh. But this guy is walking through the hall of a college campus, and he's hiding. And somebody's got to tell you that you don't have to hide. You have to work on what you can work on and fix what you can fix. So that's what I'm telling you, right? So get your hair done, get a new fresh set of clothes when and if you can, right? Keep them well washed, groomed, put an iron to them, right? All that. When you get a little bit more money, right, you go get your teeth fixed if you have an issue with that, right? You get a better set of glasses. Right. I understand that all this is going to take money, and so you have to slowly build up. This is obviously for the younger dudes out there, right? Guys 29 and under who are still kind of figuring this out, right? So maybe 16, 17, whatever. You got to work on what you can work on, right? My mother didn't have it, so I had a chipped tooth. I don't have any pictures because I wouldn't smile in the pictures. But I had a chipped tooth until I was 18, until I get the money to go to the dentist and get the tooth fixed. I chipped it when it first started developing, 7 or 8 years old, right? You get the lost two front teeth. As soon as my teeth start to come in, I fell down, smiling, laughing, fell down, it chipped. And from age of 7 till 18, I had a chipped tooth. Never smile in the pictures and all that. So when I got the money, I got it fixed. Years later, I ended up going to the dentist and getting. Listen, I was in my 40s. I think I was 39 or 40 when I went and got my got braces. So maybe I'll put up a picture of me in braces. I'll definitely do that. I took a funny picture. I'll put up pictures of me in braces. So you gotta fix all that, right? You gotta fix all that, right? Maybe I won't put that picture up. You guys will be clowning me forever. I don't want that. Right. So and this might sound silly, but you gotta make sure you smell good. Bathe regularly. Bathe regularly. Put on some cologne, aftershave, body sprays, all that kind of stuff. If you make your own beard balm or hair balm like I do, right? Put some drops of some smell good in it, as my friends and I used to say. I actually personally love tobacco and leather. I put those 2 drops. Again, this costs money, right? But you can get this stuff cheap on Amazon, right? Amazon is your friend. Walmart is your friend. You don't got to go forget this flashing and flossing to these different places. Nobody knows, man. And even if they do, that person is that superficial, then forget them. It's getting dark fast. I want to do 2 videos today. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Okay, so fix what you can fix, right? Your teeth, your hair, your clothes, your body, your weight. Get to the gym. You eat right, Your skin routines. I don't really have a skin routine. People always ask me, what am I doing with my skin? I don't do anything. I just get in the shower, I wash it, and Sometimes I will buy some skin stuff, but my skin, I've never had an acne problem or anything like that. So just do what you have to do, right? And a lot of these acne problems are really just eating. Right? You're just eating garbage, and your body's just constantly trying to get rid of it. So fruits and vegetables, fruits and vegetables are your friend, right? Fruits and vegetables, right? So fix what you can about yourself, right? Your education system, right? Your education. Go back to school, finish your degree, finish your whatever you started, read, become more knowledgeable. And I want to be very specific about, this is the future you, right? Because this is going to help you with your self-esteem, right? When you feel so much better when you complete that degree, when you complete that certification, going back for HVAC school, construction work, become a truck driver with your CDL, opening up your own business, whatever it is, man. So I'm telling you, you got to work on those types of things. Black men, carry a bottle of lotion. I need super thick lotion, right? Put some on right now. Do not walk around here. Somebody put this. I was talking about the with the picture I put up of the guy in the 50s, right? The 50s wardrobe, right? And then somebody said, he's got the constant ash on his fingers and stuff, right? I don't know what that's about. I keep a bottle of lotion in my car at all times, right? So I keep a bottle of lotion in my car at all times. I also keep hand sanitizer, right? In your car. Right? You're going out place, you might want to stop and get something to eat. You don't have time to wash your hands informally. Keep a bottle of hand sanitizer, right? We got bugs out here, right? Viruses, bacteria. Stop putting stuff in your mouth and all this kind of stuff. People get in your car and they don't. Keep a bottle of hand sanitizer and lotion, right? Drink a lot of water. Keep bottles of water with you, right? Work on the things you can. I recognize that some of the things that I'm saying are, you got to have a little bit of money in order to do them. So they regularly, consistently, let's try that. Cologne, aftershave, lotion, hand sanitizer, right? It's going to take some money. Get your hair. I hope y'all brushing teeth every day. Every time I go to the dentist, I have good insurance. I recognize everybody doesn't. But even the hygienist will tell you, if you just brush your teeth at least once a day. But if you brush your teeth 1-2 times a day and then floss, you don't need to do it. But I've got insurance, I just go, right? They pay for it, it's free. I go. She's like, they're always like, oh, you have good teeth, everything's going good, just keep doing what you're doing, right? So brush your teeth. And I'm always like, you guys always say that. And are people not doing it? She's like, you'd be surprised. So take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Brush your teeth, because there are people out here who don't do it, right? Brush your teeth. Brush your tongue when you brush your teeth. That kills the bacteria in your breath. Mouthwash. I used to keep mouthwash in the car. I don't do that anymore. I used to chew a lot of gum too, a certain brand of gum. So I want to get to working on your game, right? So social awkwardness again becomes because you have this inner sense of self-esteem. So the things that I just told you before about fixing the outside will help your inside, which will then reflect on the outside. Fix the outside, you'll internalize it, feel better, right? You lift weights, right? You start getting bigger. People notice that when people say, hey, man, you've been working out, or you're losing weight. That is such a booster to confidence, and releases all different types of chemicals in the brain, and it's going to keep you going and stuff, right? This thing, runner's high, right? When people who run, you actually get high when you run for 35 minutes or so. You get high, right? Work towards that, right? So work on that, right? Fix what you can. Then we're going to work on our game, right? I talked about this in the first video. You want to talk to people that you don't know. Go to a mall, go to a train station, go in another town where people aren't going to, if you mess up, then you don't have to worry about it. And just spark up a conversation. But people always come up to me about my Yankee hat. I love your hat, or I hate your hat, right? All these fans. And don't let me, I'm in the Northeast, right? So don't let me wear my D hat, the Detroit hat. It starts a big conversation. So we're bantering back and forth. But that's social. That is the elimination of social awkwardness. So do things like that, right? Go up to somebody, oh man, you're really a Yankee fan, or whatever, right? right? Just do that work, and that'll help you to become more confident in talking to people that you never met. And then, hey, what do you do? Where do you go? Have you been to a game? What's the record or whatever? Or football season's coming up. All that type of stuff, right? So speak to people, talk to people, take a public speaking course. Some of this stuff is really, really cheap at community colleges. Are there any community colleges in your area? Maybe you're not good at education, writing a bunch of different papers, but a public speaking course, you might be able to do that free. Some of these colleges offer free stuff like that. I don't know in particular but I know Harvard and Yale offer free courses, and free courses in economics, free courses in it was a class I was going to take, statistics, free course. What is that? Not data analysis or something like that. Some of these courses are just free, so just Google them. They might have a free public speaking course, right? Or your community college is going to have them for cheap. Got to have them for cheap, right? And this is it's going to take money in order to get some things done. So Google that kind of stuff. Listen, I can probably put one together. You guys hit me up. I'll definitely do a public speaking course. I'll definitely do a public speaking course. You guys hit me up. We'll do it on Patreon. I'll charge really, really cheap. I mean, really cheap. The more people that come, the more people that sign up for it. Matter of fact, I'll put this out there. If you want a public speaking course, or you want your kids to have a public speaking course, and I've taught communication, so I know what I'm talking about. Just hit me up and listen. I want to do it, I'll advertise it, and then maybe in a month or so, I'll do it. We'll do Patreon. It'll be a 3-week course. Here's session number 1, session number 2, and then everybody's going to give a presentation. I can't give you college credit because I'm not rated like that, but it'll definitely be something that will be beneficial. So yeah, public speaking course. Hire a life coach. Ding ding ding. Right. Personal trainer. If you constantly are failing to meet your goals, right? Because people start things and then they don't finish. And that's where a life coach will come in, because they'll hold you accountable. And that's what some people need. Accountability coach, a personal trainer, a life coach. Hire an etiquette coach, right? So you don't know how to, some people are, I worked in, I have a lot of life experience. So I worked in, before I became a police officer, the job I had before that, I worked at a hotel. I was a houseman at a hotel. A houseman is a person who sets up the different events, right? All these different tables and arrangements and stuff. So I was that person. I was a houseman, and I set up those events. And then sometimes I would work as a houseman, and then they gave me an extra job, right? So I would actually be a waiter. And I was like most of the waiters were really waitresses. They were the ladies, right? So I would carry out all the big trays of food and stuff, right? Put it down, and then they would serve people and all that kind of stuff, right? So that would just give me a little bit extra money. And then I was the houseman again. And then I would stay and then break everything down. So I would be at work sometimes like all day, and I would eat. It was a great job. It was a great job. It was a great job working at that hotel. And it was probably one of the best jobs I ever had. Why did I bring that up? Oh, etiquette. So I saw how people would eat. Right, all these different hoity-toity people, and sometimes they were really big, high-class people. So I saw and watched how they ate and all that kind of stuff, right? And where the forks go, and right, all these different forks and stuff, right? So I had to learn all that, but I know that people don't know that, right? I'm not going to teach an etiquette class. I'm not going to do that, right? But just all that kind of stuff, and some people don't know, right? You take a nice woman on a date, and people just sucking down scrimps, right? Sucking down the scrimps and just right. They don't know how to eat, right? And listen, my parents, my aunt, and they were all very, very they were very middle class black folks, so they didn't allow that kind of stuff. But I know that people come from that, and I'm not clowning anyone. I'm saying that people come from that environment, and the next thing you know, you feel a certain type of way when you're around people who are educated, right? So again, as a police department. So now imagine if I can't say that. I was going to say, imagine if I came from an environment where I didn't have the training at the hotel, but I would say I still had good table manners. As a kid, my parents instilled that, but some people don't. So I'm saying if you don't have good table manners and you don't know what it's like to be in an environment where people are upper, middle to upper class, and not talking a certain way and all that, you can feel intimidated, and that will make you socially awkward in those environments, right? I constantly hear ladies talking about, I want a man who can, number one, teach me something. Number two, who can, they want the Tupac in the suit, right? They want a guy who can thug it out on the street block, but then put on a suit and go shake hands with the mayor. Okay, whatever. But you got to be trained in order to do that type of thing, right? Take some dance lessons, right? All this type of stuff will increase your confidence. This is working on your game. Working on your game is your ability to speak to people. I went over that. Take a public speaking course. I am offering to do that. So hit me up an email. Listen, I want to do a public speaking course. I get awkward. I get socially awkward. I get nervous. I get white foam in my mouth. I would definitely work on that with you. To do a one-on-one, or I'd rather do a class that I'm not constantly talking about a bunch of different things. So I get 5, 6, 10 people, 20 people. We'll do a full public speaking course. Hire a life coach, personal trainer, etiquette, dance lessons. Go to therapy, right? If you got issues from your past and you were really having a hard time dealing with it, you're reading books, you're listening to podcasts, but you were still having a hard time with the way that you grew up, having a hard time forgiving your parents, hard time forgiving your teachers, people who let you down in your life, you were touched or whatever by your pastor, you're having a hard time, go to therapy. Right? Try to find some free therapist or something like that. I'm constantly wrestling with whether I should do that myself. I just don't want to. I don't want to go back to school. So, but I only need to get a certificate. I'm still weighing whether I want to get that certificate or not. But I need to do a certificate and 3,000 hours, which is like a year and a half to 2 years of sitting underneath someone in a professional environment as they school me about how to do therapy. Do I want to do that? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, so I'm going to finish this off with communication, because social awkwardness is about communication, and communication is not just what I'm doing with you, right? It's communication. And this is always big for me, communication. My grandmother used to talk to me about this all the time, about communication. It's not only about the way that I talk, but it's about the way that I listen, and it's about the way that I write. And I just had a conversation today, and I told her, I had a conversation with somebody today, and I told her that I was going to mention this. Your communication, people often think that I was in the military. I don't know what it is about that. I've talked about this before. I was never in the military. Yeah, I was a police officer. But I worked on that because I thought the communication was important. Now, I always watched. I always listened to different people. I was a people watcher, and I watched interviews of people and how they communicated. And I didn't like when people said, I don't like what you're talking about, or you don't know what you're talking about. That always pushed me to know what I'm talking about, right? To research, to research, and to know what I'm talking about, right? And then I don't want to just come off negatively, but as you get more prominence, right, you start to move up. Oh, and here's another thing, right? When you start to move up, right? I can remember this teacher I had. She used to always say, "You guys are sophomores, right? We were sophomores in high school. You guys are sophomores. We were still acting stupid, right?" And then she was like, "You guys are sophomores." So I was like, "Oh man, this is crazy." So then we became juniors and then seniors, and then I had her again as a senior, sophomore and senior. She's like, "You guys are seniors." We were just a bunch of goofballs, but it pushed me anyway to become more professional. And then I became a police officer, and my words matter. And I want it to be articulate. I wanted to have to exude what I talked about in another video, command presence. I wanted to exude that. I wanted to exude that at all times. And then I became a sergeant. So my words mattered. And then of course I moved up. And now at this stage in my life, right, I'm an older dude. I'm making videos, and yeah, I have a doctorate. So if I put out some garbage, right, on this, everybody's going to say, you know what you're talking about. Now, you're never, ever going to be able to get over that fully. You have to have a certain level of confidence in yourself. I have another channel, LMH Consulting Services. I talked about that, where I talk mostly about police stuff and that, whatever. And if I say the slightest thing wrong, oh my God, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a bum, right? People said on this channel. I don't pay that any attention because I know what I'm talking about. Listen, sometimes are my facts a little bit right or a little bit off or whatever, especially on the other stuff, right? Because one of the things that this one guy harped on was like, cause listen, I don't sit around reading about different people. I come across a news article, I'm like, oh, you know, I don't know what happened here, and the guy's like, well, you should have did your research and this. Listen, I get paid. if I'm gonna do a bunch of research in some expert high level stuff, you're gonna pay me for that, right? But I'm just a guy on YouTube just reading a news article, right? But I do think that you ought to have a certain level of professionalism to you as you move up through the ranks. You got to have that, and your words matter. And everything I told you before, everything I've just had on this paper, and everything I told you before is all communication. When you smell bad, you're communicating. When you're dressed poorly, you're communicating. When your hair, your teeth, your clothes, your body, your weight, the way that you walk around, you are communicating. When you don't know how to speak to people and you're fumbling over your words in professional environments, at weddings or you're at some gala, whatever, you are communicating not only that you can't communicate, but you're communicating low competence. Don't listen to me. I have nothing to say, and I'm of no relevance and no importance. That's what you're communicating, and that's what people are hearing. So a life coach, personal trainer, etiquette classes, dance lesson, therapy, they can all help to alleviate all these internal type of dysfunctions that are going on to help you become a better version of yourself. So that's why I want to talk about communication. And the last part about communication, once you've worked on all this, and this is not going to happen tomorrow, it may take a year or so for you to get your teeth fixed. It took 3 years. It may take that to learn how to cut your hair proficiently or consistently have the money to go get your hair done, and whatever it is. It takes time to lose weight, it takes time to put on muscle, it takes time to work on your speech patterns, it takes time to read books, to educate yourself. You got to read in order to expand your lexicon, your dictionary. You got to read, you got to do all that, right? I didn't wake up this day. This person that you're looking at is 51 years old, and just like everybody else, I started school at the age of 5. I graduated at 18, and from there I became a police officer. I went back to school and all this type of stuff, and then 9 years of formal higher education is where I am. But in the meantime, I read Malcolm X. I read a bunch of different stuff, right? Things I liked, things I didn't like, right? I read some feminist theories. I read the books. So I did all this, right? So it's not going to happen overnight, but every day you should be getting better and better and progressing. So you need to do that, and that will come off as your communication. And the final part about your communication that will help you to alleviate and to get over your social awkwardness and your feelings of low self-esteem about yourself is you'll be able to walk into a room like Chadwick Boseman did in Black Panther, and I'm going to put it on the screen. I want you to walk into every single room like that, like this. I want you to walk with a strut. I want you to walk like you know that you are the ish. This might be your first day on the job as a lowly painter. I don't mean listen, but there are hierarchies to job. Let's not pretend that there's not. This might be your first day in a job, but you need to walk in that place because you have confidence in knowing who and what you are. I want you to have that. I don't want you to be arrogant, but I want you to have that. I want you to walk. I want you to walk and talk like you know what you're talking about. I don't want you to be socially awkward. I want you to improve, to get through, to get by, to get above, and to be smart and to be intelligent and all this. So one of the things that I'm learning about the swag type of thing, it's really just confidence. We think it's thug nature and all that. No, it's just confidence. I speak with authority. I speak like I know what I'm talking about. I hold my head up. I have my shoulders back, and I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm often impressed. I am often impressed when I hear people talk, and what they're saying is absolute garbage, but they're saying it with such conviction that you believe it. Wait a minute. I had to kind of shake myself. I know what you're saying is foolishness, right? These presidential elections, these people, they're lying. They're lying. But their conviction, but the way that they speak, the conviction and the way that they speak is also so impressive. So once you've done the work on yourself, the inner you become this Prince Charming. You are working on your vocabulary. You're working everything I just mentioned. Go back and watch the video again. I'm not going to rehash it. You're working all that. That will in turn give you a sense of self-confidence. And then from that self-confidence, you can exude that on the outside. So when you walk into a room, you'll be walking just like Chadwick Boseman did in Black Panther. Every man should be walking just like that. Every man should be walking like that. And if you see the notes on it, right, it said that, what is it? I can't remember what it says, but it says something like every black man, every black man of Black Panther was every woman's dream, or whatever it says, right? It's down at the bottom. So that's what I want. I just want to drop that on you. I am serious about doing that. If you hit a brother up, what did I say? Run a brother by me university. What is that other one? I just said public speaking course, right? I'll definitely do a public speaking course. Definitely, absolutely, all day I'll do that. Public speaking course. So I'll put that in the show notes too. Yeah, communication, walk it, talk it, but it all comes from internal work that you have to do. And sometimes we have to dig out and root out and get through and get by the internal feelings of frustrations and low self-esteem and social awkwardness. And you're socially awkward because you don't have any confidence, because nobody instilled confidence in you, because nobody told you that you could, and they didn't put you in social situations and stressful situations. They allowed you to duck and to hide and cover and just run in the house and just stay there. Listen, you can't just run in the house and just stay there. You can't run to your mother's skirt tail and just stay there, right? A man has to be pushed. And this is me pushing you in order to become the best version of yourself. So if you're a lady watching this, make sure that you give this to your sons and to your kids. And if you're a guy watching this and you're 25, it's never too late. Don't write me talking about I'm socially awkward. I'm just never good. No, I don't listen to stuff like that. I chewed out a girl in my class. So she thought she was gonna fail. I'm like, we don't talk like that. This is like week 2 or 3. I'm like, we don't talk like that. We don't talk like that. So I don't. This is about self-improvement. I did a lot of work in my life, and I want you to do the same amount of work in your life to improve. I mean, and the most difficult thing to overcome, mind-forged manacles or shackles. Mind-forged shackles are the toughest to break. You got to break them. You got to break them. Much love and peace.